Merry Christmas. Happy Epiphany. Or should I say, have a great Epiphany. Maybe you already did. Today we celebrate the Epiphany of the Lord. And it is traditionally celebrated on the 12th day of Christmas, which normally, the 12th day of Christmas is January 6th. But in our country and a number of other countries, we've transferred the feast from the 12th day, which can fall on any day of the week, to a Sunday between January 2nd and January 8th. And so this is January 8th. It's the last possible day that it could fall. And so we celebrate the Epiphany today. And the baptism of the Lord traditionally is celebrated on the octave of Epiphany. But because we've changed the location of Epiphany, we'll be celebrating the baptism of the Lord tomorrow. And so Monday, tomorrow, is the last day of our Christmas season. Aww. I'm sad by that. All of this. Actually, we're going to leave up most of the decorations for another weekend, but to help our workers out a little bit. But it's coming to a close, and that's so sad. I'm numbered among those people who think that Christmas should be celebrated all year round. Don't you think? Yeah, I think you should give me cards all year round. No, I'm just kidding. I think we should celebrate all year round. And in a sense, it is built right into our spirituality, as is the Feast of Epiphany. That spirituality is part of the fabric of our worship, whether we realize it or not. Now, the early church loved this Feast of Epiphany. As a matter of fact, even in the Eastern church today, it's ranked ahead of Christmas. Can you believe that? Epiphany ranked ahead of Christmas. And they do so because of the early church's fondness for the story we celebrate, what's revealed today. They could identify with it. It reflected their own lives. Unlike the shepherds who were Jews, who had a manifestation, an epiphany of angels singing to them and welcoming them to the nativity scene, the Magi were non-Jews, like the early converts to the faith. And unlike the shepherds, they had to travel a long way. And then the story wasn't made known to them by angels, but rather they felt led by the light that God led them to, the Christ child. Like the wise men, like those first kings, they traveled a very difficult, arduous journey and left everything behind: family, friends, comforts. And when they got to the Christ child, in seeing the child with his mother, they were willing to give everything they had and to do him homage. The early converts to the faith could identify with that. So can we. So can we. So traditionally, we celebrate Epiphany on the 12th day of Christmas. I hear that 12th day of Christmas, I can't help but start singing that song in my head. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love. Love that song. Lots of gifts there. You add them up, it's serious. There's like one for every day of the year. Tons of gifts. And it is about the gift after all, isn't it? I was reflecting on trying to get my parents a gift for Christmas, and I went out and I got them a number of gifts, and I never quite feel like the gifts I give to them reflect my love for them. I never quite think it's enough or it's adequate. I always feel inadequate, that it doesn't quite do justice. Well, this week I just received 2 thank you notes. One from my mom and one from my dad. Traditionally, mom writes them, or sometimes dad will write it, but they always both sign it. This year, I got 2 thank you notes, one from each of my parents. Whoa, pretty good, huh? And while they thanked me for the little gifts that I gave them and the fun things I gave them, that's not what they were grateful for. They were grateful for my presence. My presence. And isn't that what we most long for? The presence of one we love? To just be together. To just be there for each other. Christmas and Epiphany are part of the fabrics of our spiritual lives. At Christmas time, we celebrate God's great gift to humanity, to us personally, the gift of His only begotten Son. We receive Emmanuel, God with us. And on Epiphany, we celebrate our response to that gift which is not just given to Israel, but a gift that is given to all people, to the Gentiles, a gift given to us. How do we respond for such a beautiful gift? They gave all that they had. Will we? It's a part of the fabric of our worship. Every time we gather here, every Sunday, we come here and we receive the gift from the Father, the gift of His Son, the Word made flesh, and we see Him present in the Eucharist. And with the eyes of faith, we know that He's with His mother Mary. Because where Jesus is, there is His mother, and there are all the saints and the heavenly hosts. Again, that's why we paint our churches with all these saints and angels surrounding us. They're everywhere. If only we have the eyes of faith. And so every Sunday is the birthing of Christ in our midst. And it is also an epiphany, because at the beginning of our Eucharistic prayer, as we prepare for the Eucharistic prayer, the priest says, "May the Father accept my sacrifice and your sacrifice." Every Mass is a giving of ourself, the gift of our presence, the perfect gift. The gift that our Lord longs from us, for us just to be present to Him, for us to give ourselves to Him. This we do in imitation of Christ, who holds nothing back from us and nothing back from the Father. And so every day is Christmas, is an epiphany, if we live in imitation of Christ. Every day. And so while Monday is officially the end of the Christmas season, it doesn't have to be so in our hearts. Let us every day welcome the Christ. Let us every day be willing to journey, following the light of God, which leads us here, where we see the child with His mother, where we come to receive Him and to give ourselves to Him as they did before us.